Nixon Oil Company Inspector Paul Sturges is sent to a small Mexican town in Baja, California, to check on an offshore oil rig called El Diamante, while he brings his wife Inez and their two children, Audrey and Tommy, along for a vacation. Upon arrival, the family finds the town in ruins. The remaining locals living in the town are suspicious and unfriendly, and fear turns to anger when they learn that Paul works for the company that commissioned the oil rig. Paul, seeking to see if the rig is worth revitalizing or decommissioning, takes a boat to the rig. He arrives to find the rig, dilapidated, hazardous, and surrounded by an oil spill, crewed only by two remaining rig workers, Chato and Junior, along with their pet Chihuahua. Eventually, after being harassed and stalked by the angry locals, his family decides to follow in another boat after Inez pays the boat's owner to take them to the rig. As the boat arrives, Chato and Junior begin to panic and fire flares as a 60 feet Megalodon shark, El Demonio Negro, or the Black Demon, prowling the waters, begins to chase the boat. Barely managing to get onto the rig unscathed, the family is forced to watch as the Megalodon destroys the boat that brought them to the rig, killing its captain. After witnessing the shark's attack, Chato reveals to Paul that some lucky crew members escaped the rampaging Megalodon while the rest were killed and eaten, adding that the radio on the rig does not function, and the calls previously made to Nixon Oil for help were ignored by the company. Chato also states that Nixon Oil knows about the oil spill coming from the rig, but never cared to fix the problem. Later, Inez discovers the safety reports for the rig and notices that the warnings have been ignored, and Paul signed the documents approving the rig's revitalization regardless of the dangerous conditions. When she confronts Paul about the fact that he knew the oil rig was unsafe and still signed false reports anyway, he admits his mistakes and adds that he did what he did to provide a better life for his family, stating his job and the security of their family would be at risk if he did not act according to the company's interests. Paul also reveals that Nixon Oil developed self-inspections to get away with ignoring hazardous working conditions, and the company threatened Paul when he attempted to confront them over their irresponsible practices. Ever since, he has been forced to work in the company's amoral self-interest, while the local community suffered as a result of the company's negligence and greed. When Chato and Junior dive underwater to restore power to the rig, they also discuss the shark itself. Chato believes the Megalodon to be a herald of the god of rain, Tlaloc, who punishes those who take too greedily from nature. As they dive, Paul notices a demolition bomb attached to a leg of the rig and realizes Nixon Oil have been aspiring to kill him all along. Realizing their negligent practices would be reported sooner or later and that they would be blamed for the oil spill, the company had Paul sign all the paperwork so that he would take the fall and die when the bomb detonated. Realizing the danger and hoping to set things right, Paul dives underwater as his family, Chato and Junior, escape to seal the oil spill and destroy the Megalodon. Though he seals the leak, the shark forces him to hide in the structure of the rig. Strapping the bomb to his chest, Paul realizes that to kill the Megalodon, he'll need to sacrifice himself. Over the radio Paul says his last goodbyes to his family before he lets the shark consume him, and the bomb detonates, killing the beast and causing the rig to collapse into the sea. As they leave, Paul's family intends to give the documents he gave them to the people of the town so they can hold Nixon Oil accountable with the law. As they sail back to shore, a local fishing boat rescues the group as a rainstorm begins.